Hello everyone, welcome back to Fire by Nature. It's been a while. I haven't seen you guys in forever. But today is the first day of my spring break, which I have the entire week to work on any project I want because I don't have school. So this video is going to be a little bit different. There's no direction. We're just going to work on a bunch of projects and see what gets done. So today I'm going to spin this top. This is a mix of Targi, Bamboo Viscose, and Tosa Silk. It is from the Flannel Starlight Tour de Fleece 2024 team when they did a collab with Hello Yarn. And I've been carrying this around with me for a while, and I just think it needs to get spun. Additionally, that's probably going to be my submission piece for Maryland Sheep and Wool this year. So let's try to finish this up so I can get it out for the deadline. So I hope you guys just enjoy this week of crafting, and let's get spinning. It was a very nice spring day out, so I decided to take my spinning outside, and essentially I'm just going to start splitting up all this fiber because, as you can see, it is very chunky, and I'm not going to spin all of that directly. Because of all the color variation that you see in here, I thought it might be fun to, play with the color a little bit. So I split all the fiber up into 8 different bundles, and I'm just gonna pick and choose random bundles, and then we'll apply it together, fold it in half in the end, and just see what comes out. I really think that all the colors are really pretty, and I don't mind if they apply together in different ways, and I think we'll come out with a really fun result. So I'm just gonna start spinning from random bundles, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we've gone halfway through the braid. I only have 4 bundles left, and I've spun through the first 4 bundles. So the bobbin's looking really pretty so far, and I can't wait to finish this. Alright, so we have finished the entire braid, and I genuinely think these look good as singles. So change of plans, we're going to keep these as singles and submit them into the singles category for Maryland Sheep and Wool. So there is my Maryland Sheep and Wool submission for 2026, and that concludes our first day of crafting. So I guess I'll just call it a day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, good afternoon and happy Tuesday, everyone. Laid out in front of me is a bat that I got at Rhinebeck a couple years ago from the fold-out cat, and it was really cool. I'm sure you've seen this in my video. You choose from a selection of fibers that they have, and they will make it into a bat for you, which I thought was really cool. And I've had this sitting around for a while, and today would be a great day to spin it up. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm just gonna go straight down across and get the colors all separate, and we're gonna keep it singles. So I will spin this on the slightly thicker side, but not too thick because I do because I do intend to use this for weaving, so I don't want to make it too chunky. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the sections apart and let's get spinning. As you can see, I've split them into different smaller roving sections by color and like in between color transition sections. So I'm going to just spin down the line and we'll hopefully get a really cool yarn. There's a lot of fun little pops of color from the sari silk that's blended in here, and I really can't wait to see how this turns out. Here's the finished bobbin. This was a very quick and easy spin for today, but I really am happy with how it turned out, and I'm going to wind this onto a skein and wash it and let it hang to dry. But I'll see you tomorrow for a much larger project than a little skein of yarn. All right, happy Wednesday, everyone. So today we're going to start a weaving project. I haven't woven anything in a hot minute. But this is one of my Maryland submissions from last year. It won first place, and I'm gonna make a scarf with it and use these two yarns for the warp and then incorporate this into the weft. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna weave this weft-wise, but in the warp I'm gonna do a main background of this white with pinstripes of this charcoal brown wool in every like inch or so. So I'm gonna make the warp, and then we're gonna put it on the loom and just sort of have fun with it. This yarn is really fun, and I think I just wanna showcase all the fun like loops and fibers that are happening in this skein. So without further ado, I'm gonna make this warp and then we'll put this on the loom. Okay, so as you can see, I've warped and threaded everything, and I've put a header on just to spread everything out evenly, and now I'm going to go ahead, wind some bobbins, and let's start weaving. Hello there, Editing Kai here. This scarf in the end did not make the final cut to Maryland submissions, and it also didn't get finished in spring break. I'm actually still currently working on it at the time of this recording. However, this scarf will have its own video, so make sure to keep your eye out for that in the near future. But for now, just enjoy some of the preview to weaving process, and let's get back to spinning our Maryland submissions. Alright, so it's been a week since my spring break, but I just want to continue this video because this is still very relevant to what was happening in that week. And I was traveling in Virginia for 3 days, so I wasn't able to do crafting for those days, which concluded out my spring break. So we're kind of compensating for that with this project. But I decided that the weaving is not going to be submitted to Maryland. It just not quite what I envisioned. I still like it, but it's definitely an experiment piece that is way out of what I usually submit, and I don't know. It's not one of my best pieces, but it's definitely a fun piece, but something I don't feel like submitting. So we're gonna spin another piece of another skein of yarn, just to compensate for that, because I do want to have 2 submissions in. So this is a sampler pack from my dear friend Sarah at Green Goat Ranch. And I've had this thing around for a while, and I love all the colors in this. So I'm gonna spin this up, and I'm thinking of plying the locks in or spinning the locks in. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we have the main mini bat here, and I have all the loose locks. So we're gonna work on this. Alright, so here are my final submissions for Maryland. This is some CVM Ramadan that I had spun earlier this year that I'm going to also submit, just so I have 3 submissions. And here is that lock spun stuff that I showed you earlier, or started earlier. And this is all of the singles that I first did for the first project. Now, I know it's been a month since I actually started this video, but you know, it's a month in the making, and all these are the fruits of my labor. So I'm gonna drop these off at the post office for them to be judged, and the next time you see these, hopefully they will have ribbons attached to them. So keep yarning, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!